Hey everybody, hey lovelies. I wanted to welcome you here to this video first off because I always forget to do that. Welcome to my new subscribers. I always forget to say that as well, so thank you and thank you for being here. Today is going to be a bit of a different video, but and I want to say so many things, so I don't want you to tune off until you just hear what I'm going to say, because look, I know there is so many videos out there on the internet and our time is precious, so we want to know what she's going to be saying. Is it worth me listening to this? And I feel that there's some points that I've never really talked about or made about moving forward to find a conscious relationship, or to bring in your person, for the divine feminine to step into her a magnetic energy. I mean, there's been a lot that I've talked about, but and I've got some notes here that I wanted to go over, and I just wanted to start off by saying the journey to find a conscious relationship, to attract a conscious relationship, not a 3D conditioned relationship, as we move into the new energies and the new earth frequency and energies. And we all want that, right? Like, even if you take all that out of it, let's weigh up, let's look at the difference in relationships. Who doesn't want a beautiful new relationship of a divine nature, where you're both in compassion and unconditional love with each other, where you might not have all your ducks lined up in a row, you may not have done all your work, you may not have, you may be activated in a way that can be a little bit unsettling. Again, some people like to use the word triggered, but in all, someone always comes to park next to me when I start a video, but in all of it, that helps us grow. But we want that person beside us that allows us to do that and to go through that, and that can see our emotions and see how we're handling it, and just either hold space for them, be there for us, but also help us to see different perspectives. But of course, for us to be at that level with somebody in the first place, we have to have done a fair amount of our own inner work and self-love, and it's that kind of a little bit, I don't know why I'm hearing like 80%, 20%. So in that, you don't have to be perfect, and like I said, you don't have to have all your ducks lined up or anything like that. And I think there's a lot out there that expresses to people that are trying to find that's what it has to be, and then they go on this continual spiral and down that rabbit hole of, I've got to be this before I attract my person, I've got to be that before someone comes along, I've got to be this, I've got to be that, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, and it just actually becomes like this whole energetic feeling of conditions that we have to obtain within ourselves before we can attract that person, right? Or before we're worthy or deserving of that conscious relationship. Before, our ego is consistent in these, like, oh, am I, worthy enough to have that person? Or am I good enough for her or him? Or like all these ridiculous ego things, where really there's just love at the core of it. And we are fed so many things on the internet that are flying thick and fast everywhere, from videos to Instagram, all over the place, right? And we're hearing things, and we'll get into an energy, and then we'll hear something and we'll doubt ourselves, or whatever it is. And trust me, I've had years and years and years and years of doing this to myself. And I got to a point, we all need to get to a point, where we know you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have everything lined up. You don't have to have done all your inner healing work. We're going to be healing till the day we leave and transition this planet, right? We don't have to have all that done. What we do need, though, is to be in an unconditional loving space ourselves, in a higher or in a higher perspective, to be able to see that. So I know sometimes things happen and do trigger and activate us, that takes us out of sometimes that unconditional loving space and into our ego. But if we can still be in our heart center to hear that person say, oh, hang on a minute, you're doing this, what about that? Try this first, or try that, or have you seen it from this perspective or that perspective? And okay, maybe you need to process that, so you go off, for the day and process that, or a couple of days or whatever, but still have that person there that is holding that safety, that container for you. I hear the word container around in spiritual circles and jargon, and I'm not convinced myself that I'm 100% with that, but let's go with that for now. It is like a beautiful, I want to call it like a sacred space that person is willing to offer you, and not with them wondering like, oh, can I do this, and or am I going to be able to, it's not for that person to think, am I going to be able to be anything and everything I need to be for that person, right? Because I think the masculine does this a lot too. Like, can I show up in that space of what she needs? Can I be the masculine, whatever they've labeled it, warrior or person or light being or whatever? Can I be everything that she needs? You don't have to be everything that they need. All you just need to be is authentic and real and honest, and just say, I don't know even if you've got to say, I don't know how I can help you with this right now, because I'm processing stuff myself, but I'm here, right? How I can show the divine feminine is a commitment by staying, or if it's in the roles reversed for the feminine to the masculine, but a commitment of both of you staying, a commitment of saying, of being honest and saying that, a commitment of just being that sacred container, that sacred space, and saying, you know what, it may be challenging, but I'm not going to run. I'm not going to turn my back. I'm not going to turn into, narcissistic tendencies and create lots of ego doubts and crap that the ego is trying to tell me, all that sort of stuff, right? So that's important to have between the two, and so each have to do their own part, right, to get to that space. And I just want to interject here and say that that a lot of my work I've put out recently, maybe people may, and I want to make this clear, perhaps people have felt that I have been saying that if you have met your person, your divine counterpart, and it might have been years and they're not there in your life, or they've still blocked you or not showing up or whatever, that you still have to strive for that and hold on to that, and I can see where maybe in some of my work people might think I've come across that way because I've not been specific in how I've said it. So I want to just touch on that right now. So some of us may have met our partners. We may have known them for years, our divine partners. And I put this into type of categories, right? There's a category where some have met their divine counterpart, truly believe they're the divine counterpart, but in fact, they may not be their divine counterpart, but they've been holding on for that for years, because that in some way is filling their needs and their wants, okay, without them looking at themselves. And then there's this other container that I put myself in, although I don't want limiting containers, but you know what I mean. I put myself probably more in this category where we have known our counterpart, and we know for years, and we know 1,000,000% that despite whatever happens out in this physical world, that they're the one that we came here to do this divine blueprint with. Okay, we might have ran from it, we might have turned our back on it, we might have out of fear done lots of things, we might have been pushing the energy away, we might have been not claimed our union or accepted at that love or whatever. We might have tried a ton of things, but over the years that you are connected to that person in that way, that they are 1,000,000% your divine partner. Every psychic under the sun has told you that doesn't even know you. Every time you've checked in with your heart and your soul and your higher self and had those conversations and with his higher self, right? I don't know how else to explain, and if you know it and you're listening to this, you'll know what I mean. I don't know how else to explain. You could put in the comments below to help me. How you just know without people saying, oh yeah, you might just, maybe you just want that to be the case. Trust me, you just know. But you get to a point, and this is what's important for the divine feminine, to get to a point to actually just unconditionally loving, let that go. and know that, okay, you came here with that divine blueprint, and you have worked through your stuff to a point, and you're ready for that beautiful, conscious, divine partner to show up. And we don't want to wait for it's not the divine feminine energy to wait. She doesn't wait on somebody. Okay, she's a magnetic energy that attracts. So again, we have free will on this planet. There's our soul will and our free will, and unfortunately sometimes our soul will, people don't listen to that enough, and their free will takes over, right? And that's just how it is. People like to stay in their ego. They're listening to all the things their ego is telling them out in the physical world. Like, I can't do that yet because of this, or I don't have enough money to do that, or I can't show up yet because I don't have all my ducks in a row, and do I have enough money, and can I support like all the ego 3D programming that we've been taught to hold us back, okay, that at the end of the day doesn't really matter. It's just holding us back. We're here for a conscious love journey to anchor in the conscious divine new earth love. So I won't go into more about that and the materialism and all that, but basically you get what I mean. Like, we have a choice to see it and see that, okay, this is our divine, this is what we came for, and I'm going to be dedicated to that. I'm going to show up for that. And however I have to do that in my life, I don't need to be perfect. I don't have to have everything lined up, and I don't have to have $1 million, and I don't have to this, and whatever it is that the masculine or feminine are telling themselves, right? So, but just to be there in that presence, in that soul presence. And but again, we all have free will, and some of us choose that, and some of us may not have chosen that yet. Some divine feminines have held on to the energy of that, which is not freeing their masculine. So to let go of that, you free your masculine to make his own choice, and he'll then make the choice from how he makes it, whether he still chooses to not do the inner work and chooses to make it from a stuck ego, or whether he wakes up and chooses, like, hang on, I know I'm here for a different path, and I actually want to do that path, right? So whatever is meant to be will happen that way. But we all have to come back to ourselves, and it'd be like if it's vice versa. Nobody waits on anybody. You come back to yourself and say, okay, well, I'm opening to receive a beautiful conscious relationship, and I know that I was here, or maybe still am, to do that role with this divine counterpart that I know 100% is mine, and we signed up for this together, and I've seen the blueprint, and I've seen it all, what we're here to do and how we're meant to action that. However, we live on a planet that we are so interfered with and consumed with so many other distractions that maybe our human self, just sometimes some people can't reach that. And in turn, we have to not hold on to a condition of them having to reach that, okay? So we just let go unconditionally. We know that all of us, I'm saying them and I mean us as well, all of us have that ability within us. We are all beautiful divine light beings. We have that capacity. We are also very empathic. We're empaths to the core, where we can get interfered with a lot. Gosh, I've known my divine counterpart for 15 years, and for the last 7, we have not had any interaction, really. Maybe I think twice, a long time ago at the start of that. And I used to get funny about sharing this, but it comes to a point where I had to take my life back and take myself back in the sense of the work I'm doing. And I used to feel like I couldn't always maybe help women enough because I haven't reached that myself yet, right? I haven't reached union yet, or I haven't done it. But then I realized that I have got a lot to offer women, and that's why I put my program out, because what I can offer is obviously what you can't, what not to do, but obviously also that means that if I know what not to do, I know what to do to be able to help women reach that goal quicker than I did, to help them to reach that goal within themselves, to become so beautifully unconditional loving of themselves that they can let go of waiting. They can let go of an outcome and an expectation in a situation that, even though they know to their core, is part of them, and you'll have to travel, with that for the rest of your life. But it's not of the divine feminine nature for her to hold herself back in that place. And if you let go of that person you're connected to, I like to say with, it just sounds better for me, and it's not sounds, everything's a feeling for me, okay? So it feels energetically more aligned for me. When you let go of that person, that energy, sorry, I got cut off there, then you're releasing them, and then they can go on and they can wake up and they can, whatever they're choosing to do, but that's not for your job. So sometimes we can be in this beautiful unconditional loving energy and doing our own mastery work and think that we're not holding on, but energetically you are, right? Because it is still tricky in the sense that you are connected that way. But when you come into a loving unconditional space, so for me this was about August last year, September, I actually just released my divine counterpart in a way that I'd never before. But with unconditional love. There was no resentment, there was no anger, there was no, oh, why am you not choosing it? There was none of that. There had been years of that, but there was none of that at this time. And I just went, you know what? That's okay. I had to let go of our mission, our purpose, our blueprint of being so steadfast that that's what it was. I had to let that go and go, he needs to make a choice. He needs to make his own choice, right? And I did that last year, and it was around August, September, and a lot of things changed for me in that way. And I was still going through some stuff of my own, but that was helping me just release. And so you'll know when it's time to do that. And I want to help divine feminines reach that, because you know what? You deserve beautiful, loving, conscious, divine relationships. And it's okay. You can have so much love, and just at the deepest of your core, unconditional love, true, unconditional, forgiving love for your counterpart that you are here to be with. You can have that towards them and be open to what the universe is bringing you, because maybe, just maybe, things have happened in this world that now the universe is aligning someone different for you, and that doesn't mean that you can't still help the planet, right? And it doesn't mean you can't still do your work and be in your beautiful divine mastery, but it's what you deserve. You deserve someone to be able to just be that beautiful support for you. Okay, again, without, you don't have to tick the box. That's very 3D, ticking the box and checking the checklist. So I just wanted to come in here and share. This is a long video now, but it's okay to move forward and just allow what happens, that happens. And like I said, you might find that person will come back around. You might find they won't. But it's for you to move forward in that. So I'm not here to push anything on you with this program. I am here to help you work through things, to see things from a higher perspective, to get in touch with your feminine sexual energy and harness that, and really just being, and that's how that beautiful feminine portal, that womb portal, that understanding how it all works, the connection, and being able to dive into that and default to that is what will get you to this space that I've just been talking about. And that will also bring in your magnetic energy as a feminine magnetic attraction, to your conscious partner turning up, no matter who that is. Okay, so this is what I want to get to. So there is so much more I can share, and I will share so much more in the actual program itself. So if you're interested, and if you really feel this is for you, and you'll know that, you can go to the website, the link below the page, and sign in straight away and register if you want to. If you want to, I'm offering a free 15-minute call as well for anyone that just wants to have a chat to me, a more personal chat, 15-20 minutes, and just see if it's a fit for you. And I might not be a fit for you, or you might not be a fit for the program, but just to see what you feel. And or you can email me as well, and if you want to set up a call. So you can either comment below that you want the free 15-minute call to see, or you can just go straight to the website and email me. But if you want the call, let me know, and we can do that as well. And yeah, and let's get you going. Let's get it started. So, all right, guys. Thank you for listening. If you're still here, thank you so much. I have so many things I can share and experience on this topic. I've kind of even been thinking of doing an exclusive type podcast membership type thing. I don't know how that would work, but just holding that really beautiful sacred space so that the true sort of divine feminines that are ready can really rock this out, you know, and get it going, because it's time now. And trust me, I have held back so long myself, and it's just time. It is time. So come with me on this journey. I love you guys. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.